Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it. Greetings, Algo artisans. Nick Petruzzello, aka the Algo Cowboy here, and we're going to take a look at the usual suspects this week. But before we do, get your free Algo. Link is in the description. The new Algo is really cool. I put it together so that you can see how I turn it into code, put it on the screen as an indicator, and I even give you tools as far as how you would connect that to your exchange so it can trade for you while you are not at the computer. So go ahead, check that out. It's free. Give us a real name, fake name, we don't care. We'll send it to you right away. This week, we're going to take a look at the usual suspects. The NASDAQ, USDJPY, EURUSD, BTCUSD, aka Bitcoin, AUDUSD, USDCAD, the newer edition, GBPJPY, and gold. Before we do, we're going to take a look at this week's economic data over on forexfactory.com. So Tuesday, we have a notable event, 12:20 p.m. Fed Chair Powell speaks, and a lot of people are going to listen to what he says. He might be hinting at some forward guidance, whether or not we might cut or hike rates or do nothing at all. We get the feeling he's going to say wait and see. Either way, the markets might move during that time. At 1 p.m., Bank of England Governor Bailey speaks. Wednesday, 3:45 p.m., RBA Governor Bullock speaks. More Aussie news at 8:30 p.m., unemployment rate and employment change. And then at the European Open, we've got British GDP on Thursday. A lot of data is supposed to come out on Thursday for the US, but it's all tentative because the government is shut down. We may not see that data, so we'll hold off on that. If that changes, we'll let you know. Tuesday through Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. EST. During our live show, come watch us on YouTube. 1:30 p.m., Governor Macklem speaks, and that's the Bank of Canada. Friday, not really any data, so let's go ahead and jump into the charts. We'll start with NASDAQ. Okay, exciting week. Last week, we had Trump talk about tariffs, and then he kind of walked it back. Massive move up on the market open over the weekend for the futures. Today's quiet. It's Columbus Day, but I think we're going to see a grind upward on the NASDAQ. Now, if Jerome Powell puts information out that makes people bullish, this could actually go up a lot more quickly, but that's based on Jerome Powell doing something bullish, right? Saying, oh, we might do this, do that, the other. Markets might get excited. I'm not going to bet on that. I'm just looking at what the algos say, and I see a slow grind upwards. The NASDAQ does have a way of pushing up higher quicker than you think, so you got to watch out for that. Let's take a look at USDJPY. Now, USDJPY took a similar hit, but it's already grinding back up. Not as quickly or powerfully, but it's a similar look. I've got 153.25 as a high locally, and I've got 151.14 as a local low, or just below that at 150.94. I do believe price will grind upwards. Might knock its head on 153.23. Might make its way all the way up to 154.80. We're going to see how that goes. Let's take a look at EURUSD. Key levels here are a local resistance right at 116.305. So let's go ahead and put a line right there. I don't think price will bounce up there, but it's also at a key support right here. And that support is at 115.72. So price could actually bounce all the way back up and hit its head on that. I don't think it will go any further, but it might be a nice short to look at. I do expect price to head down. The lower support is at 113.94. Now, price could go down there. We are seeing a turnaround in the dollar, but that is a pretty notable distance to head down that way. So I don't know that we'll see that, but it is possible it would be along the same trajectory that we saw last week. But usually price tends to range before it breaks down, so I expect price to go sideways and then break down, or it may simply grind slowly to the right and down. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin showing resilience after the big move down last week. Already popped back up after Trump reversed course on Sunday, and I think it's going to grind upwards. Key support right now is going to be at about 108.770. You got a local resistance at 119.51. Price could blow past that. It is Bitcoin after all. I don't know that it will. We're going to see what happens with Powell. We also have our all-time high at 126.234, but I don't think we're going to see that this week. I think we're going to see a test of 119.5, and whether or not it can break above that, we shall see. Let's take a look at AUDUSD. Don't expect much out of the Aussie. We had that big move down. It's kind of come back a little bit, but it's sitting at a key structural level at 65.2 cents. So price might grind sideways above that or grind sideways below that. I don't think price will go below this low that it made last week at 64.71. And a key local high right now is at 65.77. So we'll see if price can approach that or not. But overall, I see a bearish tinge on things. So if anything, the structure that gets tested will be on the low end at 64.70 or so. Let's take a look at USDCAD. Now this is bullish right now, and I do expect price to grind upwards. It's breaking above a local resistance, going back here roughly at 140.15, and then it went ahead and created a little bit higher of what is now a support, more or less. Price is kind of floundering at that level. Makes it close today, not a lot of volatility, but I do expect price to grind up and to the right. Higher resistance is at 141.50. I don't expect price to go all the way up there. I expect price to grind up and to the right, but things can happen depending on Powell, and if price did decide to go wild, it could make its way up to that 141.49. We shall see. Let's take a look at GBPJPY. Pound versus the yen. You have a local support sitting at about 201 yen to the pound, and then you have a resistance at the recent high, which is at 205.34. I expect price to go sideways and up towards that, but I don't expect either of those structures to be broken outside of a big surprise. Let's take a look at gold. Gold continuing up. As before, I just give trajectories, and I expect gold to continue up, and 4,200 is a decent target for this week. We could see price go farther, which would be 4,300-ish, but gold's just going to cram up in this environment. And that's what we got for today. Over to Algo Factory, what we do is we teach people how to predict which way price is going to go, where it may go, and how to extract money from that data on a regular basis. We're very good at this. If you come on over to algofactory.tech, we can show you how to do it. What you can do is just get your free algo. Link is in the description. That'll give you an idea of how we do it. It'll show you how I build an algo, how I can turn it into code, how I can put it on the screen as an indicator that give you alerts to trade, and I even show you tools that can be used to connect it to your exchange so that you can use it to trade for you. So please take a look at that. Like I said, link is in the description. In the meantime, we hope to see you 8:30 a.m. EST sharp. That's Tuesday through Thursday for our live show. That way we can take the data that we see as it goes onto the chart and either confirm or amend our predictions. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you 8:30 a.m. sharp.